MGHS Essence 2022 or Kia Sportage 2022 model. Which car, in my view, would offer you the best balance of value for money versus quality and features that you get? Hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm Dimitri and this is MG Owners Australia, and I'm recording this video as a voiceover rather than being in front of the camera this time around because I don't have either my MGHS anymore or Kia Sportage for that matter. I've owned my MGHS for a few months and covered it extensively on my channel, so I can talk and my impressions are still quite fresh. And I have taken a very close look at the new Kia Sportage 2022 model at the local Kia dealership a week or so ago when I went there to take a look at Kia Seltos. I've sat in the car, touched most of the surfaces, took in as much as I could and reviewed the specs and particulars of Kia Sportage using their Kia website. I did not do a test drive in the car, and I never pretend to be an expert while we're at it. So I'm just an average Joe who does his research and tries to get as much for my money as possible, as any normal person would do. So with this scene setting and disclaimers out of the way, let's start by comparing the looks of both cars. The looks are always very, very subjective, aren't they? It's one thing that nobody can really have an educated argument about, as you might like one thing and be fully entitled to liking that one thing, and I very much would like something else. So I loved, for example, the British curved style and looks of my MGHS. It was always looking like that ageless classic. I still do. I love it when I edit this video and look at this old reused MGHS footage. And I absolutely love what Kia did with Sportage 2022 model, hitting it absolutely out of the ballpark of boring and more classic looks of the cars that we are very much used to. So in this case, again, very subjectively, I would personally give a win to Sportage. Hands down, I think it's a very, very cool looking car. Now, what about the finishes, the quality, the interior impressions, so to speak? Finishes are always directly related to the price that you paid for the car and basically the model range, premium versus base models. Here it won't be different. Both MGHS and Kia Sportage appear to be built quite well as a base. And to those of you who have not seriously considered MG until this point, you are missing out, my friend. Don't let the stigma of China-made cars get better of you. My MGHS Essence was absolutely amazing inside and very solidly built, and the finishes were fantastic. Here I'm looking at GT line of Kia Sportage, a very premium price range category, more of that very soon, and finishes look more plastic. I like the doors, I like that slightly more wooden kind of door finish, but that's more of just a subjective kind of optics look, whether I like it or not. But they do feel, overall, they do feel more plastic than they did in MGHS Essence. Solid enough, nothing is too creaky, but nothing super special either. Other than, obviously, the front and center curved front panel for the driver's dashboard, which I'm sure would steal everyone's hearts, and you probably would struggle to get into an old classic design car after experiencing this spaceship. And if I only turned the engine on and all of that came to life, all of this glorious stuff lit up in front of my face, I don't know how I would go back from it. So that probably is a massive emotional hit that waits for you to happen. Luckily I didn't, but I can fairly use my imagination here and be very, very happy with what I see here. But these front panels and dash are a very separate topic of this video, so please stand by. We will go back to this. And again, to wrap up this segment, when it comes to general finishes, the doors, the plastic, the everything else, right? I'd say that even the GT line, the higher price range GT line of Kia Sportage, it definitely is solid, but it is rather basic. It's kinda cheaper looking on the inside when you touch it than MGHS Essence. MGHS Essence absolutely blows you out of the water of expectations, you know, in the softer leathery finishes and the sense of luxury. It is just, you can't argue with that unless, like, just sit in the car, take a look at it, touch both cars, and if you want to argue still with me, please come back and let's have a very constructive conversation. So I would give here a win to MGHS Essence, top of the range model, yes, in Australia as it is in 2022. Now, very quickly on back seats. Back seats in MGHS are luxurious. They feel very comfortable. They have two inclination. They can be inclined in two different positions if you would like to be a bit more reclined versus be more upright. And they're just fantastic and very, very spacious as well. So passenger space in MGHS Essence at the back feels vast, massive. It feels very, very good. Back seats in Kia Sportage, they were okay, and this is again GT line, more expensive range. They are leathery, yes, but kind of nothing to write home about, I'll be honest with you. I didn't get any wow, kind of look at, how I feel in this car. I didn't get that feeling at all, and I'm being 100% honest here. Where Kia Sportage probably wins is the boot space. I did not inspect it very thoroughly. I did not put any bags into it because I'm not a professional reviewer if you haven't yet figured that out. But even looking from the side at Sportage, it looks more wagony. So this shape of Sportage suggests to us unambiguously that this more bulgy in a good way, the back of the car, suggests that there is a lot more storage space there in the boot. And also not getting that massive space as a passenger in the back seat suggests to me that that space went in favor of the boot space. So what I didn't get as a space as a passenger, I surely would win in that more wagony feel of Sportage there at the back. So I reckon without even closer evaluation, I'd say Sportage most likely offers a lot more usable, better boot space than MGHS does. Now front seats, kind of important, right? Front seats in MGHS are an absolute, unarguable winner and something that I can't rave enough about. We are talking top of the range Essence model, of course, still, but here with this Sportage we're also not in a base model, so fair is fair. Sportage's front seats are leathery, yes, they are leathery enough, they have a bit of this suede kind of look of the headrest, and that's cool, that's alright. But it's just not what the sports bucket seat feel of MGHS Essence that you get in MGHS Essence. The feeling in Sportage, I'm sorry, is rather basic. So go again, sit in MGHS Essence and come back to argue with me after you've actually done that, if you disagree still. Now ergonomics and the front panels and the dashboard, like basically the experience for the front passenger and the driver most importantly. All the front panels, driver's position and ergonomics in Kia Sportage are absolutely amazing, fantastic, compared to, again, MGHS Essence. If you're looking at this mid to top range GT line model that I set in. In Sportage, everything is within reach. Curved dashboard is just absolutely gorgeous. I already said something about that, and even without the driving the car, I can feel how great the visibility, the optics of the panel must work compared to the classic setup of classic displays and panels that you get in MGHS. And MGHS also, let's not forget, has a very, very lackluster infotainment system, at least in the 2021 MGHS model. Fingers crossed they do something substantial to update it in 2022 to remain competitive. There is a much more handy placement of the engine start stop button here in Kia Sportage. I think there is a shelf for the phone there. It's basically quite great. Yeah, piano plastic, piano black is not, I'm not a fan of that, and that's where MGHS generally wins on finishes, as we just discussed. But as far as the ergonomics and placement of all the panels in Sportage, it's just fantastic. So I'm definitely going to win to Kia, give a win to Kia here. Now the power and the drive, like I said at the beginning, we can't properly compare the drive and the power of the cars because I did not drive Kia Sportage. But looking even just at the specs, the engine appears to be 1.6 liter, petrol engine at least, and it's marginally better than 1.5 engine of MGHS, but the transmission, at least from what I could find on Google, appears to be yet again a 7-speed dual clutch automatic transmission, which I absolutely hate. Now I can say it as I moved on from my MGHS properly. I got it out of my system, and this dual clutch setup and in MGHS was the single worst thing plaguing my beautiful Essence while I had it. If the results that I found on Google are right and Sportage is also truly dual clutch, woo, good luck to you, dear owner, unless you are specifically okay with this type of driving, taking off, and potential jerkiness of the movement. I am simply not. So aside from this point of discussion, being a no contest obviously, because there was no fair drive test done on KIA Sportage, I have a feeling that the overall impressions and the power probably would be comparable, so I'm inclined to pencil in this item as a draw. Now, price and value for money. Brace yourselves for this one, my Kia enthusiasts. The new Kia Sportage is, like I said, absolutely gorgeous from the outside. I give it that. And the only thing that's a very clear winner to me on the inside when I sit in the car is that curved, massive, wonderful, beautiful panel of the driver, the curved dashboard. The rest of it is okay, but it's so-so. For this price range that we're about to take a look at, it's so-so. Yes, there is leather here and there is a bit of this fake wood kind of thing, or even if it's real wood, I'll even throw in real wood there into the door finishes. It's still uninspiring. You want to be inspired, or to even feel like you can fairly compare Kia Sportage to my MGHS Essence, you need to go to GT line of Kia Sportage. It's just as simple as that. And boom, here is the prices. You get MGHS Essence in all its glory for about 38,000 Australian dollars. You get Kia Sportage in base automatic model with no bells and whistles for the same money, about the same money. Now, to get to the bottom level of GT line, to get panoramic sunroof and that gorgeous curved display, that's basically the main selling point of Kia Sportage 2022 to any driver, you need to pay somewhere around 54,000 Australian dollars. Yes, you also get an all-wheel drive for it, which is great. Yes, it is. But if you wanted all-wheel drive for MGHS, you would need to pay around 42k. You could do it. It's still significantly cheaper. You could get it. But the problem is that not all of us need it. And Kia doesn't give you an option for a cheaper two-wheel drive, but with that fancy display that I might want, for example, right? While MG does. Not many people need all-wheel drive in Australian cities. It's just an extra petrol cost and a bragging right, maybe. As if you go off-roading into the mud in this car. Come on. I've been down to the beach in my car, in my MGHS Essence, two-wheel drive, and never had a problem getting back out, by the way. Point I'm making here is that you're paying around extra $16,000, which for most of us is a lot of money. And yeah, you would have to pay this extra $16,000 to get something that even just can be compared in terms of luxury and what you got for your value for money, if we're comparing fairly MGHS to Kia Sportage. Anything under that, no doubt, would feel super cheap for 90% of average Australians who want things as cheaply as we can get them, duh, but as much value and luxury packed into that money that you paid. MGHS Essence remains absolutely unbeatable, in my view. For the remaining 10% of people who have extra 16 grand to throw at a vehicle that will depreciate just like any other, Kia Sportage 2022 GT line looks more modern and undoubtedly would offer you better electronics and a sense of living in 2022, not, I don't know, 2010. MGHS looks and feels like classic luxury. Kia Sportage looks and feels like space age if you have the money. These are basically my thoughts on the verdict. What are yours? Would you splash extra 16 grand on Kia Sportage just for the curved panel, all-wheel drive, and better infotainment system potentially? Or would you stick to MGHS Essence and hope for software updates that will truly make this unbeatable value for money car even better? Leave a comment below the video if you have any opinions on these two cars, and please subscribe for more videos from me if you like this unpretentious, casual kind of narrative and comparison of different features of different vehicles. And I will say goodbye for now, and I will talk to you in the next video.